We know for sure is that the excessively wealthy are extremely cocky, and the relationships with the famous are symbiotic. And the ones that put themselves in positions of power and authority as they perceive it, and then mass murder to maintain that position of power and authority, are what we refer to as schizophrenic, psychotic, sociopath. And it affects everybody involved that's deeply involved in it. The major propaganda figures and major economic players and so forth. That's something we can assess. We can safely assess. And anybody that's wealthy and famous and influential and makes lots of money and has everybody, peg, it will come to, once you smile for the camera, I know you're gonna love it. And it's their favorite foreign movie. And truth is more of a foreign concept to them than just about anything in the world. They'll talk to them about things. They'll talk about a bunch of gibberish and nonsense. And then they'll say, well, what's your final say? Well, we should all learn to love one another and make sure the world's a better place. And how are we going to do that with you selling books for money, you making movies for money, you selling music for money, you putting on entertainment for money, right? And they're insane. They had the thing on the Kimmel thing tonight. And Elon Musk went to China, and they're all sitting there, and he's crazy as ever. Well, yeah, and they're mass murdering people, and you make money off of telling jokes about them mass murdering people and getting everybody participate in the linguistics and the laws, as they refer to them and stuff. To say, well, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrid to listen to. And you don't really have anyone to talk to. I try to talk to my poor father about it because he plays to Jesus all the time. And it's not happening. So he keeps talking to Jesus and saying, when's it all going to happen? And I keep telling him, just be patient. We're working on it. And I'm not talking to Jesus because I don't think Jesus is God. And I'm not mad at my dad. He's being abused by scientists that are abusing me and using his abuse to abuse me, just like what happened with Amy and everybody else in my life, and stuff. And I'm cognizant of that. I'm well aware of that, they'll abuse other people, and then you come and say, it's going to be okay, just believe in this and this. And no, because it's not happening. Okay, when Jesus was alive, did everybody accept the Lord's Prayer in the Roman Empire and they lived it? No. Okay, when Muhammad was alive, when Haile? No, they don't believe in Muhammad. They don't believe in Haile Selassie. Jesus is God, and the fuck for the buck begins and ends there. When does it end? When Jesus is ready to kill everybody that is still fighting for the fuck for the buck. Okay, but everybody's doing that. It's just who's not doing? Okay, there's me. I don't want you. And then they told, well, you're gonna have to think about, fighting for the fuck for the buck, because you're just living off of people right now. It's like, no, I'm okay. You're like, I guess I could put out fillers to see if there's anybody sane and rational that would give me a job with a platform, but it doesn't work. Okay, they're insane. Okay. You could go to the bodegas to try to get a job to pay your extortion, that are all bought into the same genocidal operations that the politicians. So there's what I'm doing, to stay here and make sure he can be comfortable in the place that he wants to stay in. And a lot of people, well, the offers on, okay. When I said that to the military guys back in 2020 during Kate's birthday, okay, I got an email on Messenger. Okay, yeah, it was somebody playing a practical joke on me. I get that, okay, but it was still an email on Messenger, and the one on the timeline that I said I used to enjoy Pop-Tarts, all right. And that was also some, like, the Hernandez kid with the Jennifer Lopez Twitter thing and making fun of me. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. Okay. That's not what's important. What's important is how I treat people. at face value, and how I respond to people at face value. What's important is that I am the standard for quantum computing technology for humankind that interacts with technology as if they're talking to actual human beings and treating them like actual human beings. Okay, it's not Elon Musk. It's not any of our presidents. It's not the Pope. It's not, it's not any of those people. Okay, they're all criminals. They will engage in debt and trespass and mass murder over money, and then get on the news and tell you, but it's important that we keep our children safe from predatory behaviors and really bad people. Okay, would this be happening if there weren't economic markets that set up a place for these predatory behaviors? Because you have to pick out your career and then fight like John Lennon's working class hero, right? Trust me, they don't get it, obviously, but quantum computing understands. It can go, okay, it can do the math like I do the math. I'm a lot like Blaise Pascal. Not like Sheldon Cooper's character, or I'm not like John Nash. I'm not like Fred Smoot or Francis Arnold or Kip Thorne. Okay, I'm not like them. I'm not like Michio Kaku. Okay. If we had met 20 years ago, I really would like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, he's cool. We'd have talks, but the more we would talk, the more he would sit there and go, "My gosh, you are the most intelligent." He'd be like the dude from the University of Chicago. You're the most intelligent person I've ever talked to in my life. And I didn't realize, okay, he ran the psychology department at the University of Chicago. So I thought it was like Chicago State, and that people, it does. I don't want to get in it, but don't even have sports teams, right? So it's like I thought it was like a ghetto school that I didn't know was like NYU. I just went, oh, okay. So you're in the psychology department at a school like Chicago State that they all shit on, right? Like they make jokes about Western New Mexico, might as well be a junior college and all that crap that how assholes are. They're shitty, right? So I had no clue. I'm not a prestige, I'm not like, poor Suzanne. I'm going to Duke Law School. I wanted people's jaws to drop when I tell them where I went to law school. And I'm like, Duke's a good law school. It's pretty prestigious. She couldn't get in the Ivy League, so she went to Stanford. And then a Mormon kid who was blonde-haired, blue-eyed, got in on affirmative action because he was part Cherokee. And she thought that because he was from ASU and they were the same law school. And she thought that took her spot. And she was pissed. And I was like, gotta admit, he's going to be a damn good lawyer. Shut up, Earl. It's funny. I still stand by that. I'm going to stop this so I can go to bed soon. And then I don't know if Betsy's fortunate enough to come up and ask to go inside before that. Otherwise I'm going to have my water bottle. I'm going to do the same thing to her that I used to do to Sly when he woke me up at 3 a.m, splash water at her until I ain't putting up with this shit. You either go in when you meow to go in at 11 o'clock and don't fuck around with me, or, just wait till Dad wakes up. You little shit. She's a shit. She can be a real shit. And you got to just straighten her out and tell her, I'm not here to be abused by you. I love you and you're a cat and everything. So what if she does this and that? Sly ate how many birds and then probably got ate by that hawk. Okay. Moy and Spicer also disappeared. Same with old Scrap. His name Messer. Yeah, he's funny. He's a riot. But guys, you can't live for animals. But you can't sit there and be worried every day. What if she goes out and gets eaten by a coyote or a hawk or an owl? Because she's out running around hunting other animals. And then when it's time to go in so you can be okay that she's safe, she acts like a complete shit. And walks across the patio looking for something that she's going to hunt. And ignores you after she just meowed to get you out of your chair and go, okay. And I'm supposed to feel bad if she doesn't show up. She's not there the next morning. And it's like, okay. So I know how you guys think. I know how you are. Okay. And then you tell he plays God. No, I try to get you to stop playing, superheroes, super technology, super watch over someone to watch over me. Just forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. Live truthfully together. Understand how to faithfully love one another. And then there'll be a lot less problems for you to be the fucking solution to, right? Love you. We'll talk in the morning. Peace out.